Picture this. You're hiking through the wilderness, your trusty survival checklist in hand, feeling like Bear Grylls reincarnated. You've got that duct tape. You're hip-deep in self-filtering straw hype, and you've even practiced peeing in a bag to collect condensation still water. You're ready to survive anything, until you take your first sip and realize that water might kill you. Or you fire up your car in a snowstorm to stay warm, and next thing you know, exhaust fumes in your lungs. So what gives? Turns out some of the most popular survival tips floating around aren't just useless. They could literally get you killed. It's like learning to swim with concrete shoes. Hostile, heavy, and guaranteed to drag you under. I'm here to debunk the biggest, baddest survival myths masquerading as life-saving advice. We're talking urban legends dressed in ghillie suits, ready to rear their ugly heads when your life's on the line. So here's the deal. I've scoured survival forums, talked to actual experts, and debunked myths so wild they'd make your wilderness Instagram cringe. Get ready to have your duct tape dreams shattered and your gray man fantasies gone rogue. Brace yourself for the survival advice apocalypse. Let's dive into the weirdest survival tips that backfire spectacularly. Let's get right into it. Number 15, fire in a snowstorm. Imagine you're in a blizzard, car half buried, and you do the classic. Keep the engine running to stay warm. Sounds smart, right? Wrong. That life-saving. Exhaust can clog under snow. Fill your car with carbon monoxide, and you end up passed out rather than toast. Survival instructor Tony Nestor says no matter how cold it gets, run the engine in short bursts with the tailpipe clear, so you don't choke yourself out. It's ironic. You think you're mastering winter, but you're actually turning your ride into a coffin on wheels. A few minutes of heat, then off again. Your car isn't a generator. It's a coffin mobile. Become an engine-run ninja, not a furnace martyr. Number 14, don't move in quicksand. Ever see those survival shows where someone freezes in quicksand, thinking they'll sink like a rock if they move? Myth busted. According to Backpacker, slow movement with a stick or lean-back technique gives water room, helps you float and slip away. Standing still? Welcome to being trapped. Quicksand isn't a bottomless pit. It's more like a lazy mud bath. Gross? Sure, but manageable. Panic, and you're dinner. Wiggle, and you're free. Skinny dip your way out gently, and you might just walk away, literally. Number 13, duct tape parachute. Picture yourself stripped down to your skivvies on a rooftop, confidently flapping two giant duct tape wings, ready to fly. Yeah, that looks dumb because it is dumb. Duh. You see this on Instagram science. But duct tape isn't a laxative for gravity. First off, it's heavy. Second, it isn't structural. Third, it won't decompress your spiraling ribcage on impact. You basically become a sticky pancake. The irony is that duct tape is a survival staple, but only for minor fixes like sealing tents or patching boots. As a parachute, you're auditioning for a Darwin Award. Engineers will tell you proper parachutes are purpose-built with tensile strength, wind resistance, and deployment timing. You know, science. Your DIY airborne experiment is just science's way of saying, nope, try again. So next time you think you're a MacGyver in a crisis, maybe skip the Grand Canyon leap. Duct tape doesn't pay your adrenaline tax. Gravity does. Number 12, pee for water filter hack. Imagine you're dying of thirst thinking, pee makes water. Great news, it doesn't. Yes, your own urine is cleaner than muddy puddle, but it still has uric acid, salts, and waste your kidneys were begging to ditch. Filtering it through charcoal and sand might remove some particulate, but not the chemical soup. You're essentially recycling your own bodily trash, drinking brine with a side of regret. Think, you're dehydrated, and the last thing you want is to load your bloodstream with more waste. Classic survival guides write this mythical pee trick like TV dinner instructions. But expert survivalists laugh, literally. They say any water you collect from strange sources will be less salty and more hydrating than your golden elixir. Sure, the idea is wild. And hey, science fiction loves bodily fluids, but in the real survival world, your urine filter is a survival placebo. Better to scrounge or dew, sap, or legitimate water sources than sip your own sewage. Pee sure won't solve thirst. It just sounds edgy. Number 11, Universal edibility test. Picture yourself in the wild, sniffing a mysterious berry, thinking, okay, nibble, wait 15 minutes, check tongue. Boom, survival. That's the so-called universal edibility test. Taste a bit, wait, chew a bit more, wait again, eat more, etc. Sounds like polite buffet manners, right? But it's more like playing Russian roulette with your gut. Survival experts like the SAS and U.S. Army Field Manual explicitly dismiss it. Even a tiny bit of some plants could deliver instant kidney failure or paralysis. No polite waiting period will fix that. Some neurotoxins strike in seconds. Plus, there's no universal timeline for safe. 15 minutes? 40 hours? Honestly, it's a gamble with poison, not a dinner plan. So unless you're in a cooking show judged by least dead, skip the awkward berry buffet. Eat known edibles, not botanical Russian roulette. Your stomach and your kidneys will thank you. Number 10, pee on jellyfish stings. Oh, pee on the sting, they say. Sure, and while you're at it, add Tabasco sauce and a sprinkle of sass. Here's the scoop. Jellyfish venom is triggered by mechanical pressure, not neutralized by urine. Pee might actually make things worse by activating more stinging cells. So unless your goal is to remix burning jellyfish pain with shame, skip the golden flow and opt for seawater rinse and vinegar. Your sting's Tinder date doesn't need your bladder involved. Number 9, sucking snake venom. Imagine you get bit by a snake, and the first survival tip you hear is to suck the venom out with your mouth. Cue the dramatic hero pose, right into a Darwin Award entry. Reality check. Unless your mouth somehow doubles as a medical lab, this isn't a cure, it's a pathogen party invite. Venom injected into your bloodstream isn't just chilling between cells. It's already on the run, heart, brain, organs. No suction cup can stop it. Plus, welcome to the bacteria buffet. That snake's teeth probably introduce a microbial fiesta into your bloodstream, and you'll be the host. The U.S. Army Survival Manual laughs in your face. It warns that mouth suction is useless and might even make things worse. Real first aid, pressure mobilization. Keep venom from spreading and sprint to medics. Squeeze a lemon to calm, not your mouth into the danger zone. Because the only thing you're sucking out with venom mouth suction is your shot at staying alive. Number 8, drinking salt water. Here's a flashy survival tip. Drink seawater to rehydrate after dehydration in a desert or at sea. Yeah, that'll work. Until your kidneys RSVP no thanks, and you start peeing more than you drink. Cue vicious dehydration spiral. Salt water is like chugging sand. Your cells shrivel while your salt levels skyrocket. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. Biology 101. Your kidneys can handle a little salt, but they're not desalination plants. Survival guides like the U.S. Army Manual and mainstream science unanimously slam this. Drinking seawater accelerates dehydration and messes up electrolytes. So ditch the salty sip. I hate to be the buzzkill, but your body needs fresh. If you're desperate, rig a solar still or collect dew, not doom. Number 7, pressure immobilize and tourniquet tango. Imagine twisting your clothes into some makeshift tourniquet after a venomous bite and thinking you've slowed the poison. Cue the tragic irony. Improper tourniquets can ruin tissue, cause nerve damage, and invite infection, all while the venom keeps spreading via your bloodstream. Even worse, squeezing too tight can shrink an arm into a science experiment gone wrong. The military-grade advice? Use pressure mobilization bandages, loose, even compression on the entire limb, not a blood chokehold. It's like wrapping a gift, not breaking a bone. Number 6, DIY venom extractor pumps. Picture that tacky plastic venom extractor you saw in a meme-worthy survival kit. You pump it onto a snake bite, expecting Hollywood suction power. Spoiler, it mostly pulls out your own blood and tissue, not venom, and it delays real medical help. One study showed less than 1,000 of the venom is removed, and may even cause localized bruising or necrosis. So unless you're role-playing as a vampire with a weird hobby, skip the toy pump and book that ambulance. Number 5, alcohol as antidote. Some survival guides nod to sip whiskey to cope with snake venom, as if your liver is a detox factory. Let me stop you right there. Alcohol constricts blood vessels, messes with your metabolism, and gives zero counterattack on toxins. It doesn't dilute venom, slow absorption, or treat symptoms. If you're lucky, you'll just get drunk. If unlucky, you'll pass out while venom party harden your veins. Real first aid. Keep calm, immobilize, and get professional help. Number 4. Moss always grows on the north side. Nature, they said, would guide you. Moss, they said, was nature's compass. And they lied. While it's true moss can grow on the north side of trees in the northern hemisphere, it also grows wherever it darn well pleases. Shady crevices, moist rocks, your forgotten shower loofah. Relying on moss for navigation is like trusting a cat to file your taxes. Confusing, sporadically helpful, mostly chaotic. Environmental factors like wind, tree spacing, and surrounding shade affect moss growth. In forests, moss can grow on all sides of trees because the entire canopy blocks light. So unless you're an expert botanist with a microscope and a satellite, moss isn't your compass. It's your con artist. Better invest in a proper compass or, look at the actual sun like a civilized Neanderthal. Number 3. Punch a shark in the nose. Okay, let's set the scene. You're swimming in open water, a shark appears, and some voice in your head goes, "No biggie, just punch it in the nose." Bold of you to assume the shark will A. Wait patiently, B. Line up its snout for your right hook, and C. Respond with emotional defeat. Here's what experts actually say. Aim for the gills or eyes if contact is inevitable, but mostly avoid splashing or acting like wounded prey in the first place. And don't flail around trying to go full Rocky underwater. Also, hitting a shark's nose sounds great in theory until you remember it's underwater. Your punches are about as strong as a wet noodle slap. If you find yourself eyeball to eyeball with great white, the best plan is to stay calm, make yourself appear big, and, if it comes to it, poke the sensitive parts, not the big, bony snout that evolved to take high-speed impacts from seals. Number 2. Solar still miracle. You've seen those survival TikToks where someone cuts a hole, puts a plastic sheet over the dirt, wedges a cup underneath, and somehow harvests water like a desert wizard. Sounds genius, except you're basically trying to liquefy air. Solar stills can produce water, but only minuscule amounts, like a shot or 2 a day. A desert drains your sweat and fluids faster than a drip of condensation can replace it. You're not staying hydrated. You're rationing desperation. Science says you need a huge still and perfect sun to gather even a half cup of water over several hours. If you're lost in the desert, you're better off seeking shade, knowing where water collects like dry washes, and rationing sweat, not hoping your plastic salad bag becomes a fountain. Moral of the story? Solar stills are one-trick ponies, a desperate last resort, not a miracle. Your salad bag and duct tape won't save your life if humidity and sun aren't cooperating. It's cute, but don't bet your life on backyard engineering. Number 1. Graffiti bird sort of guide. Okay, I'm calling BS on this one. Follow the birds to water. Seems intuitive. Birds need water. So they must know where to go, right? Except, ironically, the birds you see flying overhead are likely migrating, not flapping to the nearest pond. They don't care about your sad thirst. They care about their own lunch or migration schedule. So you follow them and you'll end up who knows where. Maybe a lake. Maybe Beyonce's backyard. Better strategy. If you spot birds, note where they rest in the evening. Birds returning to roost might nest near water. But big flocks circling midday? They're probably scavenging or thermaling. Your bird GPS is broken, friend. Use altimeters, sun shadows, actual bird behavior knowledge, not blind tailing. So we've aired out the biggest survival pro tips that do more harm than help. From shark high fives that never land to moss compass lies, your best gear? Real knowledge, calm thinking, and maybe an actual compass. If you've ever believed one of these myths, or worse, tried them, drop a comment and confess. Let's laugh together before our survival kits do the same. And if you found this myth-busting spree helpful, drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell, maybe even duct tape something, just not a parachute. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.